Hey guys, welcome back to the first official episode of the Have Coffee With Me podcast. As you hopefully know, my name is Jem, and as you can tell by the title of this episode, I'm going to be talking about beauty. I feel like that's kind of niche in a lot of ways. Like if you're not a woman or feminine or are not into feminine things, you're probably not going to know much about makeup or beauty in general. Now, being a female presenting person and generally having identified as a woman for most of my life, I at some point got sucked into the idea that makeup is supposed to be, quote unquote, supposed to be what you do. Or it's sort of expected, regardless of background, because I can't say that, but even coming from a family where makeup and beauty and to be really honest, femininity was never a priority in the way that I interpret femininity, I was still exposed to makeup. Like, my mom is not at all a makeup person, but she does own makeup. She doesn't really wear it that often, but she does own it. So I think in some ways it has been a big part of my life, especially once I entered high school. It was something that a lot of my friends were into, and so at some point I went along with it, you know. I do feel like my relationship with makeup is very indicative with my relationship with myself. I found that a lot of parts of my personality manifested strongest or most obviously in the makeup styles that I admired and the collection that I ended up having as a result. So I understand that makeup and beauty are very personal and that everyone has different skin chemistry and preferences. So please take note of that from this episode. Because it is also so personal, everyone's experience with beauty is going to be different, and I'm not trying to say that if your experience with makeup and beauty is different than mine, that it's wrong, or that, you know, I think there should be space for every type of makeup expression, from like the absolute no makeup or just either like no makeup or no makeup to like the absolute fullest glam. I think there's room for everybody at this table, and I'll get into my own relationship with certain styles that I've seen on social media, because I have opinions and thoughts on them, and none of them bad. I just think there's some stuff that I just have so many thoughts on. Okay. I personally do not wear makeup on a day-to-day basis, mostly because I sweat all day at my job. I still have a 9-to-5 while I'm recording this. On the day-to-day, to be honest, I just wear sunscreen, even though I have a mask on all day. But I generally don't wear a lot of makeup, and I'm going to talk about my own experience with my style evolution, if you will. But I don't think there's anything wrong with using or liking makeup, and I'm not one of those pick-me girls who has a superiority complex from wearing minimal makeup. I just like minimal makeup. I like that it's easy. That sounds bad. Please don't come for me. Oh God. But I feel like in my mind it's easy. Like, it's like I have one eyeliner and I don't have to think about whether there's like 4 in my drawer to use up. That sort of thing. And also at some point I began reflecting on the ways in which capitalism influenced makeup and beauty. And so I think when you think about principles of makeup or what certain aspects are used for, like, for example, foundation is meant to even out skin tone. Concealer is meant to, of course, you know, you don't have to follow these rules necessarily, but there are generally rules about, foundation covering certain things up, or concealing hiding dark circles or blemishes. And it started to make me think, you know, when we tell women to buy these products to that they're supposed to make us look better, quote unquote. Why do we need to look better? Why is the way that we look not good enough? Why do I have to literally put paint on my face to be socially acceptable? And I think that is where I started to have an issue with it. Because we're selling people products that are essentially saying, there's something wrong with something on your face, and we have the solution for it. It is this little paint in a jar. And, okay, yeah, I get capitalism and whatnot, but at the root of it, I really take an issue with the idea that I need to change something about myself to become socially acceptable. And also, who is profiting off of these beliefs? Who owns the majority of the makeup companies? You know what I'm saying? So I know that there's more women-founded brands, which is super, super awesome, and I'm definitely never going to knock the hustle of that. I'm not saying that I'm never going to say that there's something wrong with liking makeup or buying makeup or, owning a makeup brand. I guess when I think about it, sometimes I'm asking, why do I feel the need to buy this? And who is implementing these standards on me? Why and how are they benefiting from it, is all I'm saying. Again, no shade to people who have makeup brands, like makeup, and all of that stuff. I guess I just think it's sort of hypocritical of us as a society to say, like, women need to wear makeup in order to be socially acceptable. Okay, people are not saying that explicitly, but you know what I mean. But I don't know, all I'm saying is that I don't know if there's a equivalent for men. I do think that beauty seems to be very intertwined with modern ideas of femininity, and I have yet to find a equivalent for men. I feel like the things that, quote, make men macho or manly they have changed over the years, like, all cultural things do, but I feel like beauty and makeup being associated with femininity has been around for a very long time, and I'm saying that I don't know if there's a masculine equivalent to that. All of this to say, I understand that makeup can be an artistic outlet for some people, and that's great. But I do have a real problem with an industry that profits off of women and people's insecurities, and especially insecurities that they can't change, like acne, dark circles, rosacea, stuff like that. And now, Coffee With Me podcast. Thank you to our sponsors. All right, so now that we got some of the heavy stuff out of the way and like the disclaimers, let's get into the fun part that I'm sure that most people clicked on this podcast to hear. Now, again, this episode is very much about my personal style of makeup, and I feel like that sounds very self-absorbed. I swear. I really am not this self-absorbed, but I am very obsessed with makeup, and I have been for a really long time. I swear, my makeup habit has definitely gotten better. I've definitely spent less money on makeup in the past year or so than probably any time before that. That's so cringy to say. I don't like to think about how much money I spent on makeup, because honestly, if I added up every single thing that I bought since 2015, it would probably be a lot of money, and I've been trying to spend less money on makeup because I really want to put it towards other things. Like, I might need a new phone soon, so, I want to put it towards stuff like that. So, let's start all the way in the beginning of 2015, when I really decided that I was going to go in on learning how to do makeup. The first couple years of me doing makeup were honestly not pretty. I don't really think I have that many photos anymore from that period of time. Maybe that's a good thing, though. So, my first experience with makeup shopping was with my aunt, Beth, in Indiana, which is where my dad's side of the family is from. And we went to a department store. I think it was like Macy's or something. No, it wasn't. Whatever the equivalent was. And I went and got shade matched at a counter, which, by the way, artificial lighting and shade matching is horrible. I tried to get, okay, off topic. I went and got shade matched at Sephora earlier this week because I've gotten so much paler ever since the pandemic started. I am several shades paler. I have never been as pale as I am right now. But when I went in the sun, I asked my friend, okay, is the shade that she matched you with, does it match? And she's like, it's like half a shade too dark for you. So that might just be the foundation, but artificial lighting is terrible for shade matching. Please just get you a sample, like have the girl shade match you at the store and then get a sample of a couple shades and then go try them on at home in natural sunlight. Please, God. I'm really bad at, like, not I'm really bad, but anyway, that's a different side note. Anyway, back to the main story. So we're in this department store, right? And I get shade matched. And then I get, I did what I just said I did. And I got a little sample. And we went to, like, Walgreens. And we tried to find the closest match in the bottle, which is also a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't match from bottle to bottle, because it'll look, like, if you put one bottle next to another and try to figure out your shade based on that, also a bad idea. Do not recommend. So we found the closest one and I went home. I think I bought like a couple foundations. I really didn't do a lot. I really had these ideas of what I wanted. Like, I really wanted a dark vampy lip because I was really into dark vampy lips at the time. I don't know. Anyway, and I wanted like a red lipstick, and I did mostly buy drugstore because I didn't really think that higher end makeup was an option. So I just kind of bought stuff from like CVS and Walmart. And not all of it worked. I don't have any of the makeup that I used to own back then, because I think I gave it away. Yeah. It didn't always work because I couldn't try it on. So, but anyway, so once I started getting into makeup, I probably, like most people, I started following the trends. 2015 was like the year that the beauty community blew up, and a lot of the makeup was very, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but a lot of it was starting to look the same, and it was a very heavy look. I could be wrong, but I think that some of the techniques that were really popular at the time came from the drag community, which is really cool. Like, baking originally baking has its origins in drag and dancing on stage and performing under really hot lights, stuff like that. And that's 2015 was where I started my beauty journey, and I feel like it was quite a time to be alive and into makeup. Oh god, I'm sorry. The 2015 makeup style, I don't think it's very flattering. Unpopular opinion, I guess. I understand if you're like the rapper, like Megan Thee Stallion or Saweetie, where you have to be baking and like doing a lot because you're on stage. But for the average person who does makeup, or not person who does makeup, but for the average person who probably wants to go out in natural sunlight, I don't think that the 2015 makeup style is very flattering. I have seen it on girls in real life, and while they are, of course, beautiful, I don't think it's flattering for every day. Because you can tell when someone's contouring their face. You can see the line on their face. Even when you're not that close to them, you can still see that it's a line and not a cheekbone. No offense. Again, do whatever you want. My rule in life, do what you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, do what you want. But I just personally don't find it very flattering. I do think that like some contouring and like bronzing and stuff can be very flattering. But the 2015 makeup style with the Sharpie eyebrows is not the move. I think for me it's mostly the eyebrows. Like, the crazy block eyebrows drive me nuts. Because I just don't think it looks good on anybody. Like, no matter how thick or thin your brows are, I don't think having your eyebrows look like they're like painted on is just going to be flattering on anybody. Anyway. So that was that. I naturally have, I say thicker brows because like height-wise, they definitely look big, but because I'm of Asian descent, I was not blessed with naturally bushy, like dense, lots of hairy eyebrows. So I've been using a brow and lash serum for like 2 years, and that's what gives me the eyebrows that I do now. God bless. But all that to say, I definitely tried the 2015 like block eyebrow trend, which was not flattering on me or anybody. But I did it mostly with brow gel because I didn't think I needed pencils. Also, dip brow scared me because I didn't know how to use it. So from there, I think once I got into let's rewind. So throughout high school, I'm following the 2015, like 2016, those sort of like popular makeup trends. I was using, I was even buying from Morphe. I'm ashamed to say that. I no longer have any of my Morphe palettes. I've sold them, but, I was doing the colorful eyeliner and like crazy, really intense, technically complicated looks, and they were beautiful. Like, I would spend hours on doing my makeup and I would be feeling myself. I thought I looked great. I felt like I was like, I'm the shit, bitch. Like I felt great at the time, and I'm never going to knock my previous self for that either. But as I've gotten older, and I don't want to say have less time to do my makeup, but I think that was part of it, of just not having as much time or not wanting to spend as much time on my makeup. I think I started to simplify it, and also I'm definitely more of a minimalist, which my admiration and inclination towards minimalism definitely has to do with my self-worth issues, to be really honest. But I do think that minimalism has also helped me in a lot of ways because it kept my makeup collection down. It made sure that I didn't have so much that I was overwhelmed with the amount of makeup that I had. And it also, I think, it kept my makeup routine simple, which I appreciate more now. So, like I said, I was at one point doing the very colorful, bright eye makeup, which is cool. And I was really feeling it. But I think within the last year, with the whole panoramic and everything, it gave me a lot of time to reflect. And so naturally, where my brain was hyper-focused on was, makeup and beauty. I think a lot of people gravitated towards that. And I totally understand why. It keeps a sense of normalcy and routine and whatnot. But I started to think about my relationship to beauty, and specifically makeup and colorful makeup, because I had a moment of pause realizing, I don't really know if I like this style. I don't really know if I like wearing colorful makeup. I spend so much money on this goddamn shit, but do I actually like this anymore? I really started to question part of my identity of, do I actually like makeup, or do I feel pressured to use it by whoever or whatever, right? So I got rid of a lot of it. I started selling off a lot of my makeup. Like, as much as I could. I just said, fuck it, I am selling as much as I can. Just take it, everybody, have my shit. I need to start over. I also did this with my hair. I used to have blue hair for like 2 years. I also dyed it like purple, green on accident, pink, like a darker blue. I haven't dyed it. I mean, I was mostly blue. But I also hit that point where I just said, fuck it, I need to start over. I need to get rid of everything. I need to go back to the basics, and I need to start over because I need to see who I am before I let everyone else's opinions get to me. So, with my hair specifically, I just dyed it brown. I just said, fuck it, I'm dyeing it brown, and I did, and I haven't gone back to crazy colorful hair, and I'm really happy with that decision. I do need to tone it though, because it looks not super great in my opinion, but it's fine. That's a different conversation altogether. So after I sold off a lot of my makeup, I made this promise to myself that I would only start incorporating colorful makeup once I started to get reacquainted with myself and also discover my own style. So that I then discovered that my own personal style, I went through two phases that are mostly recent. Are I really like having really bare skin. I learned that I don't like bronzer. I don't know how to put on blush either, but I do like highlighter. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my base makeup, which is really just concealer, because I can't be bothered to do concealer and foundation. I don't know why, don't ask me. But I was like, okay, I like a really fresh face. I really like just concealer and highlighter. I'm gonna just do that, okay. I'll do my brows, because my eyebrows are still not thick enough for me to leave them alone. Mascara, because otherwise I feel kind of naked without it, even though it's way more comfortable to not wear mascara. But I was like, okay. But as far as like eye makeup, I was like, at the time I was like, okay, I really like pops of color. So I kind of got back into buying the pops of color. And then I realized that I just don't use it. Like I really realized that I rarely ever wore colorful makeup. And the more important part actually is that I didn't really feel pretty. And so I started to make that the focus of my makeup style of I want to feel pretty. I want to feel good in what I'm wearing. I want to look in the mirror and be like, damn bitch, you did your makeup really good and you look great. Like, because I found that I started to think about my own priorities of how I wanted to feel about myself. And I was like, I want to feel pretty. And I went, okay, what makes you feel pretty? And I realized that it was not the colorful makeup. I don't know why. Like, theoretically, I should really love being creative and doing that. But I think I realized that I wanted to focus my creativity somewhere else. Whether that was on this podcast or whether it's on my writing, on my blog. I have a Medium blog, or blog on Medium, whichever. I want to do music. So, I realized that I want to put my creativity in other places. I don't want to put it on my face. And that's okay. Everyone has a different way of expressing themselves and ways to express their own creativity. So now my current style is pretty minimal. I have a very small makeup collection, which I will get to soon. But again, that's not a flex. Having a small makeup collection is not a flex. I just don't need a lot of makeup. I really don't wear it a lot. First of all, I can't even find my own fucking correct fucking foundation or concealer shade. So y'all definitely can't. No one can come for me. I can't even do it myself. So I'm just kidding. But I like having a small makeup collection. It helps me. I mostly just stick to neutrals, and I have like one blue eyeliner because I really like blue. So, and I have a red lip. I don't have a vampy red lip anymore, like a maroon color, but I have definitely been fixated with like that classic kind of like 1950s pinup thing where you get like the winged eyeliner, like think of Taylor Swift, the winged eyeliner and like that bold red lip. Just to me, it's always been iconic. So of course I have a red lip, but yeah, for the most part, it is pretty basic and I'm okay with that. And whatever makeup style that you fancy, you should do that. Whatever makes you feel happy and feel comfortable, I think that you should just do that. So before I talk about the makeup and beauty collection and skincare and everything that I have, I just want to pose this food for thought of, since I'm talking about trends and styles and personal styles, My question is, how do we as makeup consumers, because that's what we are consumers, we are buying makeup, unless you're making it yourself. You are a consumer of makeup. So how do we as consumers know what's our own style and the stuff that we like versus what we see on social media and like what's trending? And I think that asking that question to yourself and having that moment of self-reflection to figure out what you really like is important. And it was really important for me to understand that, one, I don't have to follow the trend. Two, even liking a trend is okay too. I really liked some aspects of the foxy eye trend. I know that it got heat on social media, but I really liked the much more natural look that was starting to evolve, like from 2019 on, I want to say. I feel like that's when it became more popular, or maybe it was like 2020, I don't remember. But, you know, it's okay to like a trend, and it's also okay to not adhere to trends at all and do your own thing. I see that all the time, you know, girls who totally don't follow the trend and are still absolutely beautiful. One of my current makeup inspirations is this tarot reader named J. Alyssa on Instagram, and I did DM her once and asked her what her makeup routine was, which is why I love asking people that for some reason. I just love knowing. I feel like it lets me get to know them. You know, what kind of stuff do they like to do? How, you know. And she said that she really only puts foundation, it's like a foundation stick under her eyes, but she doesn't really do anything. She does that. She highlighter, blush, eyeliner. She got her brows tattooed, so, and lip liner, and that's all she does. And she's gorgeous. Like, oh my god, she's so gorgeous. But I liked her approach because it was simple, it was easy, and it's a very reliable look that she just is like, I can put it on and know that I look good. And I think that's kind of the main goal with my makeup collection currently, is just being able to say, like, I know what I'm gonna look like when I put my makeup on, and I know that I'm gonna look good in it. I think that's my main goal. Wow. The revelations that I'm gonna have on this podcast, for real. But anyway, yes. How do you, as a consumer, know our own style and distinguish it from what we think our makeup is supposed to look like? Anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, so the last part of this episode, in my opinion, is the least interesting, but I mean, if you're listening to this, you also probably watch a lot of makeup YouTube, which probably is which discusses the same things that I'm about to, which is my products. So, I think that everybody goes through an evolution of their preferences for products. So I used to really be into powders, except for foundation and concealer, because I didn't know that there was powder foundation. But I used to be into powders, whether that was setting powder. I don't use setting powder anymore, which is very shocking, I think, to most people, but I used to really be into setting powder, even eyeshadows, powder eyeshadows. I don't use those anymore. And then I went to creams, which I've never owned cream blush, now that I think about it. But anyway, cream blush. I definitely think that everyone's gone through a cream or liquid eyeshadow stage. I definitely did when I was at the senior year of high school, or was it junior year? I don't know. I just know that I stopped using liquid eyeshadows because I was using this e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow that they don't sell it anymore. But it literally made my eyelids burn, so I had to stop using it, of course, like a normal person. And now I just prefer pencils or stuff that's in a pen form. So my liquid liner is pretty thin. It's, it's like in a pen shape. Even I used to use the About Face eyeshadow sticks. Having a eyeshadow stick is very convenient. Not that I wear them anymore, but they're a very convenient format. So I definitely think those are good. Or that kind of format is great. Because I used to use powder eyeshadows, I used to have a lot of brushes, so I actually now only really own one brush in my whole makeup collection, and it's just for my concealer and foundation. Why did I say that? I don't wear foundation. For like my face, to like blend out my concealer and everything. That's pretty much the only thing I use it for. Because when I was minimizing my collection, and I was figuring out my own style, I realized that I liked the idea of just using my fingers for a lot of stuff, blending with my fingers, making it look more effortless and like smudgy and not natural, but just I look like I look a little bit less done up, I think, is what I was trying to go for. My first ever makeup item that I ever purchased was the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 228. I think. I don't remember. And I really deadass thought that I was going to wear that foundation forever. I did not. My first high-end luxury purchase was the Kat Von D, or whatever they're branded now as, liquid lipstick in Vampira. Listen, I went through a dark vampy lip stage in high school, and I wish I didn't, but yeah, that was my first high-end makeup purchase from Sephora. And I remember one time, the first time that I wore it to school, I didn't wear any other makeup with it. I just wore a fucking lipstick. Which, in retrospect, okay, I know that's not a smart idea. It's not very flattering. And I had a teacher being like, oh, wow, your lips look, or it's very bold. And I'm like, yeah. And, yeah. I'm not embarrassed by it. It's just kind of funny. Also, before I go into the products themselves, I will say that I very much admire the IG baddie, or the people that I think of who do this makeup style are Megan Thee Stallion and Saweetie. In some ways I wish that I beat my face like that. In some ways I wish that I hadn't cared enough and wanted to put enough effort to look as glamorous as they do. But I also realize that I don't want to. I admire the IG baddie and bougie makeup aesthetic, but I also recognize that that's not me. I there's so many makeup styles that I appreciate, but I know that I wouldn't personally want to put the effort into doing. I know it's not my vibe. That bad and bougie, Megan Thee Stallion, Saweetie makeup looks, they look really great in it. But I know that personally I would not want to do that on the regular. I mean, can I get a professional makeup artist to do it on me once? That'd be cool. Stuff like e-girls I think are cool. I just, I personally wouldn't wear it. But, if that's what they want to do, again, do what you want to do. Twerk on the dance floor or whatever. I totally support in people doing whatever the fuck they want. So, now, my morning and night routine has definitely evolved like a motherfucker. Because recently, or earlier in 2021, I had a serious bout of eczema all over my face. And I had to stop using, even sunscreen. I stopped using sunscreen. But I was like, shit. I need to use up some of my other cleansers and stuff. Because I'm trying to reduce my single-use plastic consumption. And also, I know that Biore cleansers are not very good for your face. So I was like, I gotta stop using these. So I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? I knew that CeraVe worked because I had a bout of eczema when I was a kid. So I was like, wait, I think I still have some. Found that. And I've been using CeraVe ever since. It has cleared my skin so much. My skin has never been more clear than it is now. I mean, right now I am sort of breaking out, but that's just because of stress and being tired. But CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser with ceramides and hyaluronic acid, super good for my skin. I know that they're not cruelty-free, and I do feel bad about that. But this stuff fixed my skin when it was at its worst. Just inflamed and red and sensitive, and so incredibly dry with eczema. I also use the CeraVe Moisture Cream. To be honest, I'm blanking on what the actual name is. Let me find it. It is the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream, yes. That also saved my skin from eczema, but yeah, since that bout of eczema, I have not changed my skincare routine because I like how clear my skin is. The next item after I step out of the shower, I just use soap to shower, but after I step out of the shower, I use the Ordinary's niacinamide 10% and zinc 1% serum. This makes my skin look bomb as fuck. It also really helps with my acne. I remember I had a friend who we hung out after things with COVID kind of died down. I was like, hey, let's hang out. And he's like, all right, bet. And he was one of my good friends. He was like, don't take this the wrong way, but your skin looks really, really good right now. And I was like, I know, and it's because of this. It's because of this Ordinary niacinamide serum. My skin looked so good. My pores look even. I don't have really noticeable pores. I'm very blessed. I know that. But I don't have. They made my most, pretty small, not super noticeable pores even smaller. My skin looks so smooth, airbrushed, flawless. It's seriously, just get you a niacinamide serum. You don't need the Ordinary one specifically, but just niacinamide serums are so good. I can't do my skincare routine without them. I'm gonna be honest. And then, it's the niacinamide serum. Then I do the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. I've also been using, I know I mentioned a brow serum earlier. I've been using the No. 7 Lash Impact Lash Serum on my brows and lashes, and I've been using this for 2 years, and it has seriously made a big difference. I used to have no tails to my eyebrows, and now I have tails. I'm just missing parts of the arch of my eyebrows, unfortunately. So there's that. My lip balm is the Vaseline Lip Therapy, but honestly, I react pretty poorly to lip balm, but not any other lip product, so I don't know, but me and lip balm don't get along. For shampoo and conditioner, since I feel like this is worth mentioning, I switched over. I was on an eco-friendly kick during the same time that I was having a lot of these reflective thoughts, or was it? I don't know. But I switched over to plastic-free shampoo, and I'm using the Lush Jumping Juniper Shampoo Bar. Honestly, this stuff gets my hair clean, like so fucking clean. Seriously love it, and one bar lasts me like 6 months. I feel like there's problems with every makeup brand on some level, so I'm sorry. But they're plastic-free, and it works super great for my hair, so I just keep using it. I'm currently using the Jungle Conditioner Bar, but I know that this one is discontinued, which is a bummer because it's great. So yeah, there's that. I think that's it for my skincare. Oh, and this... Sorry, I knocked something over. I also use the Ordinary AHA 30%, BHA 2% peeling solution as an exfoliator, because I know you're supposed to exfoliate your skin, and I do that, and it works really good. Some weeks are better than others. I've had weeks where I only exfoliate once a week, but I've had weeks where it makes my skin so smooth, and other weeks where it doesn't really do a lot. But I think it works, so it's fine. Excuse me. All right. Now, the most important thing to put on your skin every day is sunscreen. I learned that from the YouTuber Matilda on Video. She beat that shit into her viewers' head like no tomorrow that I started to wear sunscreen. And my holy grail sunscreen that I love and will just keep forever repurchasing because, I'm gonna get into it, is the La Roche-Posay Anthelios Light Fluid Sunscreen. I get the SPF 50 and I get the mineral version. Listen, guys, I don't like the texture of American sunscreens. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I do not like American sunscreens. They smell horrible. They don't feel good on the skin. I was using this one very popular sunscreen from Sephora, and it was very silicone-y. And after a while, I would really feel it on my face. And I also didn't use enough. You know, I didn't use enough to actually get any sun protection either because of how thick the texture was. Like, at first, it was like kind of moussey and stuff. But after a while, because of how silicone-y it is, it starts to feel very heavy on my face. And I would like I actually took my makeup off halfway through the day because of how it felt. Something like that. But anyway, I was recommended La Roche-Posay from both Matilda on Video on YouTube and also my favorite YouTuber, Damon Dominique. He uses La Roche-Posay, and I was like, well, if two of my favorite YouTubers use La Roche-Posay, I definitely need to use La Roche-Posay. So I found the finish that I like, which is more matte, because I used to have more oily skin, and I think now it's like oily normal. Like, I'm definitely can definitely still be greasy, but it's not as greasy as I used to be. But then again, puberty, right? Sometimes it makes you extra greasy. So I use the matte finish. It is so good. I know that Amazon is, not everybody's favorite corporation, but I will buy La Roche-Posay off Amazon because I just love this sunscreen so much. All right. Now, into my makeup bag. So even though I'm going through this, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a concealer right now because I'm pretty sure that my concealer do not match. Yeah, I've tried a bunch of concealers. I used to have what did I use before that? I used the Fenty Matchsticks in the shade Maple, I think. But and I used that for 2 years, and that worked. And then I ran out, and I was like, let me try something else. I did try the Jeffree Star concealer, and then we all know how that blew up on the internet, how Jeffree Star went down. So I think I bought the concealer prior to all of the scandals, but once all the scandals came out, I was kind of like, I don't really want to own this anymore. And also, because of the panoramic, I got really pale, like pasty as fuck. So my concealer also didn't match me anymore. So I got rid of the Jeffree Star concealer. I was using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, but also that one is too dark for me because I just am not super great at shade matching myself or having other people shade match me. I'm always, in my head, I end up matching myself darker than I actually am, especially considering how pale I am right now, and it does bother me. I do prefer to have, very closely matching concealers. So, anyway, all to say, I don't have any concealer with me right now. I ended up giving my concealer away to someone who could use it as a contour because I really do not like having concealer that doesn't match. I just finished up the e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara, and it was pretty good. I definitely feel like as you own it, as you keep using it, the hold it doesn't work quite as well. I also think that the mascara side works better as brow gel than the brow gel side. But I really like the applicator, so I actually kept the container to use for the brush. And that's on being eco-friendly and using up everything. I have a Beauty Blender Blotterazzi Pro as a little compact so that I have, a mirror. Ooh, I can see my pimples in here. I do not appreciate those. Anyway, it's to also mop up oil. Let's see. I got a Sephora Multitasker Complexion brush. I need to wash this. It's the mini. It's 45.5. I don't think they sell this anymore. It's a great brush. I've had this since basically the start of my makeup collection. So that's like 4, 5, 6 years. So, hell yeah. My newest... No, I'm not going to do this one first. Okay. The next up, I have the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. Bomb as fuck. Cheap as fuck, too. Best liner. Hands down. I got an e.l.f. sharpener, which is cool. It's like $1. I got the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick in the shade Turquoise Storm. I don't know why, but this color hits different, and I love it. Maybelline Sky High Mascara. It's a good mascara. I don't know if I'd repurchase it. I mean, I do have one on sale in my Depop shop, but it's a good mascara. I like it, but I definitely realize that I can't buy backups of mascaras because I will just find something else that I want to try. So I'm going to finish up this tube, and then if nobody buys my other tube, I'll use up my second tube. Because basically I bought it locally at Ulta, but I also ordered it on Amazon because I thought that the Amazon one would come before that. So I got really impatient and I bought it locally. Anyway, I will be using up my current tube, and then if nobody buys my other tube, I'll just use it up. It's fine. I really want to try this other Maybelline mascara, but that my friend recommended to me, but I gotta use up everything that I got first. I have the Essence Make Me Eyebrow Gel Mascara with filling fibers in the shade Ashy Brown. Definitely think it's a good brow gel, and it's cheap, but I want to switch from using brow gels to using pencils, because my brows are getting fuller and I don't really need to do as much to them. At one point I really liked clear brow gels to like hold my brows in place, because generally these kind of tinted brow gels would not hold my brow hairs, and I'm Asian and my brow hairs are so stubborn and like to grow downwards, so I like pushing them up. So I need to get a new clear brow gel. Okay. I also have the NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and definitely a Turn On Waterproof Extreme Shine Eyeliner. That is an unnecessary name. I'm sorry. It's a goddamn eyeliner. Okay. Anyway, and it's in the shade Brown Perfection. This is a really good brown liner. It was also a moment for me where I have this compulsive habit of researching products before I buy them. Sometimes like to an extreme and almost to a very, yeah. So this was like the first makeup purchase that I really didn't look into before I bought, and that's why I'm proud of it, because I resisted the urge to obsess. I got the Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray. I think this stuff definitely works. I definitely like setting spray, even if it's a psychological thing where I'm like, okay, I've set my makeup. I bought the 4-ounce bottle off Depop, and so I've just been refilling this. I've been refilling this 1-ounce container to take with me everywhere. Ooh, my red lip. Okay. I don't really have a preference for formulas anymore. I think I just stopped giving a shit as much about makeup. I haven't stopped giving a shit, but I give less of a shit about makeup nowadays. Oh my god, this packaging is all beat up. Jesus. Anyway. Buy expensive makeup, they said. It'll be pretty, they said. No, some of the items scratched some of the frosted plastic. This is in my hands, I know you can't see it, but in my hands I have the About Face Matte Painted Lip Color in the shade Fireside. Love this red lip. The formula is pretty good too, so I would recommend. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be limited edition, but actually they're still on the site, so obviously they're not that limited edition. Really like the color. I really like bright reds if I'm going to wear a red lip for whatever reason. I think that I had the habit of wearing darker reds, and I didn't like them as much. Like, if I'm gonna wear a red lip, like, I want it to pop against my skin tone. And now that I'm extra pale, pasty as fuck for me, I don't feel so bad about it. Next is the About Face light lock stick in the shade Greek Tragedy. I went through an about face phase because I'm a huge Halsey fan. I even have a Halsey tattoo. So I was like, okay, she's dropping a makeup line. Of course I'm going to buy some shit. I bought way too much shit, and now I'm trying to sell it because I don't use it. Don't at me. It's on my Depop. Anyway. Ooh, I found a spoolie that I stole from Sephora. And my newest makeup purchase, which is the Ellie Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Sugar and Spice. I've been looking for a good nude for a long time, and it's really hard for me to find a nude. I'm light to medium skin tone right now with more of a neutral olive undertone, and I can get as dark as, like, I think my darkest is going to be the Fenty Beauty shade 290. Excuse me. That's as dark as my body can get. But I have a very difficult time finding nude lipsticks that I like. There was this one by Marc Jacobs. There was a liquid lipstick that I really liked. It was called Hot Cocoa or something like that. And they don't sell it anymore. But that was my perfect nude, and it's been a struggle to find a shade that I like on me. So this one's as good as it gets for now. It's a lip liner, not a lipstick, but I'm kind of just resigned myself to wearing lip liners as lipstick, especially if you blend it with lip balm, then it's fine. And then I have this piece of paper from Glossier. It was like a sample or something. I bought the perfume sample off of Depop, but I use it to fan myself. So like after I've sprayed my setting spray, I just kind of fan myself. I saw some beauty gurus do it, and then I was like, hey, that's kind of smart. So yeah. Oh, one last thing before I go. I also, in addition to purging my makeup collection, I also purged my nail polish collection because I realized that I really only liked one shade of nail polish because it constantly looked good on me, which is basically a sheer pink. I feel like it makes my nails look really cute. It makes the whites of my nails look white or, just cleaner. It makes them look cleaner. And then it gives my nail beds this kind of like natural flush to them, which I think is very pretty. So I was searching high and low, believe me, high and low, for a sheer pink polish. And I found one on Etsy by a brand called J Lacquer. It's a girl, I think, based in California somewhere. And I currently have the shade Cosmopolitan, but when I'm done with this shade, I plan on getting the shade Princess, because that's actually more of what I was going for. Cosmopolitan is very much like a hot pink, so I mean it still looks good on my nails and I'm gonna use it up, but I was really looking more for a nuder pink. So I just have to apply Cosmopolitan in a sheer fashion. But it is very good polish. Would recommend. Love supporting small businesses, even though most of the businesses that I've bought from are not small businesses. It does make me feel good to buy from small businesses when I can, when they have products that I am looking for. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know that it was kind of a lot and I was very rambly, but I really hope that you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. My next episode is actually one that I recorded last year with one of my good friends, Eric, and we're going to be diving into some more academic topics, stuff that's more meaty, which is actually what I hoped that my podcast would be more of, but we shall see. And not hoped, probably more of my podcast will be very meaty, very academic, very thought conscious sort of thing. So I hope that you enjoy, and I will... God, I've been making way more YouTube videos. I will hopefully you'll listen to the next episode. Thank you so much for listening, and bye!